Hello everyone. Today I'm recording this message to you regarding Birby Feathers and its future. This message is also a bit reflective of myself as I am the writer and illustrator of this story, so my personal state does take a part in all of this. In this, I intend to reflect upon what has been accomplished over the 3 years of the story's development and the glaring elephants in the room, which have led me to ask myself some tough questions. Birby Feathers started off as a burb in Zirconia, an experiment tied in directly to a Minecraft server being run by the Diamond Denizens, of which I was a moderator. The concept was to present prompts in a comic format for readers to answer, and I would then draw the result and give another prompt. What came of this was a tiny little blue bird who longed to be a part of something, but struggled with social awkwardness and a fear of the unknown. She was an immediate success among the Diamond Denizen community, but her story ended up being short-lived, as the server that her world was set in broke down. Not wanting a repeat incident, I looked into what I could do with Birby independent of any Minecraft server or map, something free of the constraints that came with it. And so, after nearly a year of quiet development, I came forward with Birby Feathers, the same charming little character, now the focus of the story, and an entirely new world full of unique lore and mystery to unfold. At this same time in my own life, I had moved out of my parents' house and I was living on my own. Making a proper living was in the forefront of my mind, and with the booming success of a new platform called Patreon right there, I took the opportunity to relaunch the story in a way that allowed readers early access to comic pages in exchange for supporting me monetarily. The comic has been running for just about 2 years now, with a new page coming out an average of once a month, sometimes faster and sometimes slower depending on life situations at the time. She's made it through the introductory phase of the world and is primed to dive deep into the lore and drama surrounding the world in the upcoming Chapter 2. But, as you can guess from this letter even being a thing, the comic has not been living up to expectations, and I'm struggling a lot with what to do with her. As I mentioned in the previous bit, I have a whole world of lore waiting to be unveiled, and an elaborate plot arc poised and ready to send Birby through the colorful world while learning some valuable lessons along the way and unlocking the hidden past. The story's there, it's ready, but I'm not sure if it'll ever be told entirely. Patreon was a promising option when I first launched the comic and partnered with them to give people access to exclusive art in exchange for supporting me. I was gaining new patrons slowly but steadily in the first few months of operation, and while the numbers did fluctuate, I never dropped too far below what I'd been earning the month before. The problem is that Patreon stopped growing less than a year into operations and has stagnated where it is for over a year now. I don't hide how much I earn there. You can go see for yourself that the comic earns me a whopping $17 a month. And while that is fantastic money for someone who is just starting off, or a high schooler saving up some money for their first drawing tablet, I'm a college-graduated professional illustrator with published books and over 6 years of experience in this field. I also have the aforementioned education to pay off, as well as a number of other bills, and for the hours I pour into making Birby Feather each month, both in development, promotion, and the illustration itself, $17 is not enough money. Let me be clear about my intentions here. I am not bemoaning my situation, saying people should be giving me more money, or this isn't fair. What I'm saying is that I've looked back at the numbers, and I've concluded that as it currently stands, Birby Feathers does not work. And it really hurts to admit that. As I said before, I have a lot of the story's overarching plot and major twists and drama points already figured out and waiting to be implemented. I've poured a ton of time and effort into making Birby Feathers work, and to admit that it doesn't breaks my heart. As it stands, I can no longer afford to put in the time it takes to produce a new page of Birby Feathers each month. Hell, I didn't have the time before, but I tried anyway with this blind hope that when Birby Feathers turned successful, it would be worth the months of watching my bank account drain out on me. I can drone on and on about the things I could have done better to make the comic's initial launch more successful, but I'm not going to drag you through that. I have to put on my big girl pants and face up to the reality that I can't make money off of this story. And so it's time to put my time into the things that can earn me money. And so now I'm left asking myself, what do I do with Birby Feathers? It's heartbreaking enough as it is to see this story fail as much as it has, and to drop it entirely just feels wrong. Not to mention, there are still a handful of people who have supported me consistently through this endeavor, and I don't want to let them down. Their support means so much to me, and I wouldn't have had the courage to make Birby Feathers without them. They gave me hope, and however small it was, a taste of what success could have been. And for that, I will be forever grateful. Thank you. Right now, I intend to keep my Patreon open, but it will no longer be on a monthly format. I know I will not be able to continue Birby Feathers at the pace I first promised everyone, and it would not be right to ask my patrons to keep paying me money for things I haven't accomplished. And so instead, I will be taking the steps over the next month to rework Birby Feathers into a hobby-only format. Major changes will be coming, and the first will be a switch from the monthly pay format to a per comic page format, meaning I'll only ask for monetary support when I manage to post a comic page in whatever free time I have available. Over time, I will be paring down and changing the rewards I offer, and my goal markers, and what they will unlock. I can warn you now that many features will be outright removed, or replaced with less intensive options, as I am no longer looking at Birby Feathers as a way to pay off bills. I may outright drop Patreon altogether one day, but for now, this paring down is all my heart can take. No matter what, I can't just give up entirely on Birby Feathers right now. Thank you again to everyone who has been on this journey with me. I hope you will still continue to enjoy Birby's story, even if it's coming out at a much slower pace now. And I hope you'll bear with me as I dismantle the behemoth of promised content that never came to fruition. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to comment below or message me, and I will try to clarify anything that I accidentally left unsaid. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.